Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Nath, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started.
You could meet him too. So Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you for having me. And you are 100% correct. Meg is the rock star.
Yes.
For sure. And I know Meg because we were introduced to each other through a mutual client that we both have, an attorney that helps us with our business agreements and also helps her. And what I do and what my agency does, which is called Forward Push Law Firm Marketing, is we help lawyers figure out all the things that they don't teach them in law school. And one of those courses that's sadly missing is marketing. And we are a full service agency. Our sweet spot is really working with those solo and small firms, which I like to define up to about 10 attorneys. That's really where we can see some great results. And we handle everything from their website design and development to their social media, posting on LinkedIn, creating videos, which when I say that, it's sort of, we might envision like what we're doing here by just jumping on a Zoom call and seeing each other in real life. But we've now developed a technology called Counsel Twin AI. And we're actually filming our clients for about 3 to 5 minutes. They can talk about anything they want. They don't even have to talk about the practice of law. They can tell us about their kids, their vacation, what they had for breakfast. And then we're able to take that video and actually make it into an AI avatar that looks like them, sounds like them. And then we're going ahead and writing scripts and using those videos that we create with this avatar that, again, looks and sounds like them.
Mm-hmm.
And we get those videos on social media, on LinkedIn, on our YouTube channel. And the best part of it is that we take up very little billable hours now, which is pretty great when you think about it, because in the old days, and by that I mean, just a month or so ago,
right?
This technology is going. The old days were just a minute. We would have to sit with our clients every month and record
always whole day,
full day, and take up a lot of billable hours and take up a lot of their time. And as great as attorneys are, some of them just don't like being on camera. They can easily sit in front of a client and talk. They can sit in front of a judge and talk. But when you put that camera in front of them, I don't know, have you noticed this?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, right. It's almost a different person. And so over the 15 years that I've started Forward Push Law Firm Marketing, I've seen this happen more often than not. And with this great technology, we are now moving into this AI service offering. So it's not only this Counsel Twin AI that I mentioned, but even our advertising model now is built on a whole AI platform where we can do things so much faster, so much more efficient, and it's better for the client when it comes to the end results. So we're a full service marketing agency for law firms.
That's awesome. So you mentioned social media. What's new with the TikTok thing? Yeah. Oh, sorry. So TikTok, interesting, is an interesting animal. And I talk to people about being on TikTok, and that's like I could have told them, hey, do you want to move to an outer planet? And they're like, I'm not going to dance. Everybody thinks dancing on TikTok. And I'm like, no, you can actually share about your business on TikTok. So do you have any interesting stories maybe around that?
I do. I have a really fascinating story about an attorney that's a client of ours. She's been a client for 6 years. And about 3 years ago, we made the commitment to say, you know what, let's go all in on TikTok and see what happens. And for the first year, we made a promise to each other that for 365 days, she would post a TikTok video. So we were going to go all in, and there was no slacking. It was, one full year. Jump ahead now. We're almost 4 years into that strategy. She now can go to a conference within her practice area, and people will stop her in the hallways. And surprisingly enough, they want to take, these are other attorneys, want to take their picture with her because she has become, I hate to use the word famous, but she has become so famous on TikTok within her own practice area. And I think the fascinating thing is that every month when we meet with her to talk about strategy and go over what's happening, without a doubt, I can count on her to say, we received X number of clients that directly came from a TikTok DM, someone that had asked a question about whatever her topics were on those videos. And these aren't small matters. These are people with legitimate problems that need an attorney, that have chose to go to TikTok to do a search, or because of that TikTok algorithm is really based on interest. It knows what you like before you know what you like, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? It's so smart that it's able to serve up this content that isn't lawyers dancing, isn't lawyers doing funny skits, it isn't lawyers jumping on a trend, although they might. This is actual real information that answers the questions that real people are searching for. And when you serve up that content in front of someone, they don't forget that you helped them. And that's why she can always come back to us and say, yes, another client from TikTok, another client from TikTok. But it's a commitment. I think if we go back to what I was saying, is that first year, she committed to a video every single day. And how we did that, because there is sort of a secret behind it, she didn't just get up every day and make a TikTok video. On the weekends, particularly on a Sunday morning before her kids got up, she would take the time to shoot those videos. And we just needed 7 at a time. We just needed one for every single day. We planned out so that we had about 2 to 3 weeks of content before we ever launched the first video, so that she could go on vacation, go to court, work with clients. So we always had a backup in place. So to the real world, it seemed like she was on every single day. Technically, she wasn't behind the scenes, but it certainly did appear that. But the commitment and the consistency is the secret sauce. She could have talked about anything.
That's great. So share another success story with us. That's really great. And I think sometimes as lawyers, we think about who we are, but not as much who our clients are and where our clients are. And I think that's a
100%. I'm smiling because I just had lunch 2 days ago with a business attorney, and we're working on a new strategy for him. And he casually said, what about Facebook? And he kind of said it in that tone. What about Facebook? And I could tell by the way he said it and the way his face looked that this was going to have to be a convincing conversation with him, that people still use Facebook, people still are on Instagram. And talking to him with his practice area of business, so it's B2B, he couldn't understand, like, why would a business owner go to Facebook to find him? And that's true. Why would they go to Facebook or Instagram to find him? Because that's not what they do. But they certainly open up Facebook. They open up Instagram to check the news, see what their college friends are doing, see what's happening in their town. And the beauty of targeting on Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising, we'll call it Meta, on Meta advertising, is that you can direct this advertising directly to the type of clients that you're looking for. That's the actual secret. So it is not, I never go on Facebook, I never go on Instagram. It is, where are your clients at? So you're 100% right. It's really asking that question and then realizing that, sure, you are not going to become the next Facebook and Instagram star. You probably aren't going to get a viral video. But what clients do is they get a referral, and then they start to, what I like to say is, check you out.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go to LinkedIn, maybe in this business to business sense. B2C might be a little bit different, but they're going to go to Google at least and do a search for your name or the firm's name. And Facebook and Instagram are going to come up in that search results. YouTube's going to come up. Your LinkedIn profile is going to come up. If you're not participating in these at least 3 or 4 or 5 different platforms in some way, you're going to look like you're not open.
True.
And that's
Yes.
what I was telling him. I was like, we don't need to go all in on Facebook and Instagram, but we should post once or twice a week just to let people know you're open. Right phone number, great photo of yourself, video of yourself using our Counsel Twin AI, so you don't have to be on video anymore. We'll create videos for you. And if you're doing those things, then someone at least starts to build a connection with you and your firm. And it makes it so much easier to get them to become your next client. And that's the real role of marketing, is to get someone to become your next client. You agree?
Yes, absolutely. Get them in the funnel. And I think when we appear on social media, people feel like they know us and they see who we interact with. And like B2C, I've talked to so many family lawyers and estate lawyers who are in like moms groups, and they're like the lawyer in the moms group. So they get everything. And, it might not even be a family law matter, but they can refer it to someone else and they become the expert like immediately.
100%. And these Facebook groups, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is where the power is on Facebook. It's not the feed. It's not the endless scrolling. It is these community groups that you have to apply to get in. They know that you're in the neighborhood. You don't go in there and sell, but you become a valuable asset to the community. It is the town hall of our modern age right now. And that's what's happening, is that lawyer then can go in and answer things about favorite restaurant, the little league team, what's going on in town. And then also if a question comes up about, like you mentioned, a family law matter, who's going to be the one that can answer that and already build the trust? I love that. If I can go off on a little side note here, we have an estate planning attorney, and I'm kind of want to talk about these little side groups that most people don't consider. You're familiar with Reddit, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
He just did an AMA on Reddit, so an Ask Me Anything.
Oh, cool.
And this was in the subreddit AMA, so it wasn't even a legal focused subreddit. So it wasn't about estate planning, it wasn't about law, it wasn't about legal matters, it was for the general public. He had over 400 some odd questions asked to him about estate planning. It did take him all day to answer all of those questions in a thoughtful manner. And at the end of the day, I asked him, well, how many solid leads did we get of people that you're going to talk to that you have appointments set up for? He told me 12. Yeah, that's what I said. We committed to that full day doing an AMA. Mm-hmm. You never know how many questions you're going to get or what those questions are, or where that conversation is going to go. But by being in there and answering all those real world questions from people that want to know about what you do. First of all, we got a ton of content ideas out of it, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, we got a ton. But he was able to automatically build up trust. And that's what got me here, is that when you said about how when you are on social media and you're showing yourself to the public, you automatically build up a relationship with them. They know who you are, what you sound like, what your office looks like, all of these different things. So in this AMA, he was essentially able to just jump right to the front of the line by answering all of these questions, building up trust. And he didn't even have to say anywhere, book an appointment with me. Never once did he. He never had a call to action. But just by being there, being a good citizen of the internet, answering these questions, people can find out who he is. The username is the name of the law firm. And he mentioned at the beginning of the conversation who he was, where he's based. So, if someone wants you, they'll find you. So he didn't even have to do this call to action, but he got 12 solid leads that turned to clients. 1 day's work.
In 1 day's work.
And no advertising spend on that. We're now looking at doing Reddit advertising now that he's built up some new momentum. But isn't that fascinating about these channels that are now available, whether it's TikTok like we started with, or something like Reddit that, how often have you heard of a lawyer developing leads out of Reddit in this manner?
In this manner, definitely for research purposes. Hey, what are people talking about? What's trending that people need answers to now, so that I can create some urgency and some content around that, but not actually via Reddit.
Yeah, fascinating. And that's the first attorney that we've been a part of that, and to hear that story and to share it here. This is the first place I'm sharing that story.
It's very innovative and grassroots. So it's like we have something that, like, with all this technology at our disposal, having something that's really personal, and having them do that is brilliant. So Mark, it's been a great conversation. It really went quickly. Tell people how to find you.
Yeah, perfect. So our domain and our website is forwardpush.com. To interact directly with me, LinkedIn is probably the best place. And it's just doing a search for Mark, M-A-R-C, Apple, A-P-P-L-E. And my email is marc@forwardpush.com. Feel free to drop a line and let me know how you're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much
you for
being
joining us on the
for
Success
our listeners
Partner
out there,
podcast.
this has been another
I hope you
episode
enjoyed
of the
today's
Success
conversation
Partner
and found
Podcast.
some valuable
I'm your host,
takeaways to
Dana
apply
Nate.
to your
Please
own
like,
business
subscribe,
journey.
and stay tuned.
Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.